You're most welcome to the YouTube channel of New Direction Counseling Services. Today's topic is nobody's interested in you. Rather, I should say that nobody's interested in us. It's by virtue that you are listening to me on the video clip. Had I been before you in person, you may not be interested to listen to me. So, it's a universal fact that nobody's interested in us. Everyone is obsessed with our own thoughts. Self-love is good, but we have all become self-centered. We have all been preoccupied with our own thoughts. Each one of us need to keep one's own perceptions. That is very good. We are to keep our own entity. But we need to listen to others. Before listening to others, we need to keep our perceptions intact and unlearn ourselves first, and then listen to others. Otherwise, we will be, preoccupied with our thoughts to share our perceptions, which we have our own. But for gaining knowledge, for listening to others, we need to unlearn ourselves and then listen to others. Whenever we are talking to others, the other one is busy in one's own thoughts about a related topic, one's own perceptions. One is recollecting and reminiscences. One is recalling and anxious to share with you. We are thinking that we are talking, the other person is 100% listening to us. It's not that. The other person is busy in recollecting the reminiscences and share with us. And many times it happens that one cuts us short before we have spoken about our topic. One may react beforehand before we have expressed till the end we have expressed ourselves. So the essence of saying is that nobody is interested in us. Now, once we make the hypothesis that nobody is interested in us, this is not a hypothesis, but this is a reality, that then we tend to fall on the earth, and there is no one to pick us. Don't take it literally, but morally we fall on the earth. Then take a pause and relax. A new thought is obsessed with in our mind that we have become worthless. With the passage of time, we find ourselves all alone. Our real self takes birth. We become a caretaker and guard for ourselves. We become a person who now tends to introspect oneself with a prominent thought that we are not to show off to others. How? Because if no one is interested in us, this is interesting. Try to listen. If nobody is interested in us, why to show off? To whom to show off? So we do whatever now to improvise ourselves. We save our energy, which we waste in explaining to the deaf ears, so-called deaf ears. Instead, we become a good listener, which is must besides being a good speaker. The knowledge we possess, once we listen to others, knowledge we possess that is retained within ourselves. Rather, we learn more from others while interacting, while listening to others. It happens many times that once we speak at length, we are swayed away in our thoughts. We speak at length, but our even what's not relevant, which is personified, that we also tend to share. Rather, in this process we expose our weaknesses. So instead of speaking at length ruthlessly, we better listen to others too. Whenever we now I tell you that whenever we are going for a morning walk, we must go alone, because these are the moments we spend with ourselves, converse with ourselves, introspect and motivate ourselves, and we stay with ourselves. All the day we happen to meet so many people. We are subjected to demonstration effects. Of course, we learn so many things from others. So while it doesn't mean that we should not listen. We interact with others, but many times we let loose and erode our existence and absorb it in others. In that process, we lose ourselves. So whenever we go for a morning walk, we must go alone. Whenever, if hypothetically, if somebody is walking along with us, we need to keep pace with the other. With other steps, we have to listen to the other, which The other may not be, we may not be interested to get into the topic, we may not be interested to get into, but we have to listen to the others for the sake of listening. And we have gone for a morning walk. We need to become ourselves. We need to explore ourselves. We could have explored ourselves. We could have talked to or conversed with ourselves, because all the day we are busy with the public and swayed away in demonstration effects. That is the time we have spent alone with ourselves. So we are losing in that precious moments wherein we could have just being with ourselves. So, say in the garden we happen to see a beautiful flower and beautiful rose and share with others. Oh, what a beautiful fragrance, a beautiful flower. The other person is having a grim face. And lost in his own thoughts. The whole fragrance, the whole beauty of the rose will be eroded. So, if nobody is interested in us, why not stay with ourselves and take a full liberty to nourish ourselves to be a better person? So, if we stay silent and listen to others, of course, with the hypothesis that nobody is interested in us, we tend to learn more. We add values to our wealth of knowledge. It doesn't connote that we are not to speak at the appropriate time. We must speak out at the right moment, and that too qualitative and before weighing our words. Now, whenever we are to give any advice, we should not go for unwanted giving any advice to anybody else, uh, or else we are just let the other person telling that we know about the subject. We must share our knowledge, but for the sake of sharing and telling other, but not for the sake of telling other that I know on the subject. So only then we should give an advice, not an unwanted advice. Many times we tend to give advice telling others about our knowledge, and we get a pat on our back also, and we may be in a illusion. Somebody may be our subordinate. Somebody may have to get some work done through us. So we may be living in the illusion that somebody is appreciating us for our work done. So we need to be careful that while talking in that sense. So sharing knowledge is good, but not for the sake of telling others that we know on the subject. Then why don't we give a pat to ourselves for the good things done by us? Why don't we need to show off to others that we are doing good for anything? Why can't we go alone and do silently for some downtrodden person? Why we need to tell anybody else? If nobody is interested in us, why not we become interested for someone who needs us? Why not we become a better human being, improvising ourselves instead of finding fault in others, unwantingly speaking at length, and instead better listen to others after assessing who's who and accumulating more knowledge by gaining strength. Thank you for patient listening, and I tell you that New Direction Counseling Services is a big platform wherein on all the spheres the counselors speak at length, and they have in-depth knowledge about that. If you like our this glimpse of video clip that you may like, you may share and appreciate it, and so that we are rather tempted, we are rather motivated to tell you more about the life philosophy and other aspects of life. Thank you so much.